Hey guys, welcome back to the Arsenal podcast. Today, no intro or anything, or no title or anything. I don't even know what the title is, to be honest, because I'm still kind of speechless with the loss, to be honest. Yes, PSV 2, Arsenal no, and it's bound to happen. I think, you know, the fact that from October and actually from August to right now, the end of October pretty much, we only lost 2 games. That's the only thing that we can praise the team because last season around this time, I don't think we were in a good position. But of course, last year around this time, we were improving in a way. But at the same time, a lot has changed. But today's performance has been dreadful, has been very painful to watch, to be honest. For me, just a lot of just a lot of flaws around the pitch, to be honest, in the individual performances, in terms of tactical wise. Everything was just completely poor, and pretty much PSV has outclassed Arsenal in today's game. And I can hold up two of my arms up and just say, you know what, fair play to PSV. I think they had a good game, to be honest, especially Xavi Simon. Great player. Oh my god. Like, when you look at him, he's only 19-year-old, but the fact that he was pretty much toying apart Arsenal defense, and of course that disallowed goal was amazing, to be honest. I thought it was a goal, to be honest, but then little do I know that it turns out it was an offside to the build up. But there's a lot of talk in this game because, again, this game, it's crucial in terms of qualifying as the first place. We already qualified for the round of 32, or the playoffs, blah blah blah, how you guys call it. But yeah, we already qualified, and you know, but of course, what we want to do is pretty much trying to finish it off in the top place, first place in the Europa group stage. That's what we wanted, because you guys know that Juventus is sending down, Sevilla's coming down, Barcelona are also coming down as well, and there's a couple of teams are pretty much on the verge of coming down as well. For example, Spurs is also getting close, to be honest. I think they were I think if they lose the next game, and somehow I forgot those two teams in the middle, but if somehow those two teams in the middle, if one of them or both of them, maybe a draw or something like that, they lose and there's a win, and I'm sure they're gonna either get sent down or not being part of the European competition anymore. But of course, hopefully, Spurs gonna lose the next game. Really fun to watch in that case. But this time, Europa League is going to be a very special one. I think a lot of top teams are playing. Apparently, it seems to be the Europa League. It's going to be quite a feast for the upcoming competition. I think with top teams just dropping down right now, so Europa League seems to be a much more entertaining competition than the Champions League, at least for now. But going back into the game, looking at the starting lineup, pretty much I assume it's going to be something like that. Of course, I kind of predicted that, either Saliba or Gabriel coming on, and Holding's going to start regardless, but either Tomiyasu or Ben were on the right hand side. But maybe today I think Tomiyasu did an alright job marking Cody Gakpo, even though Cody Gakpo scored 2 disallowed goals. But prior to that, or before that, he has been amazing, to be honest. But a big one is right here is pretty much Vieira playing as a right midfielder, right winger. I think it's much better than playing as a number 8, to be honest. I think if you give him a little bit more creative opportunities on the right hand side, he is going to strive in that position, and I think he played fine. And of course, the big one right here has to be either Nketiah up front, solely up front, or Ramsdale replacing Turner, who unfortunately picked up a tight groin before the game. And I don't even know where to begin, to be honest. I think the first half was quite boring, to be honest. I don't think we created enough chances. We have a few shots on target, but that was about it. And I don't think there's any particular play where I thought, wow, it's impressive or anything like that. Another thing I want to talk about is pretty much everybody was slipping in that game. Not sure why, but apparently Arsenal players slipped more than any of the PSV player, which got me thinking, oh my god, it's not something that we want if your players keep slipping here and there. that's pretty much what happened, and it frustrated me a lot because there's so many plays where we could have probably controlled the play much better if we have a much tighter, a tighter grip, off the ground, or if you don't slip or anything like that. But apparently that's not the case. Everybody was slipping. I remember there were a few times where Martinelli got the ball, was going to accelerate, or same as Nketiah, to be honest, was going to accelerate as well. But, of course, that slip kind of broke down the play slightly bit, which in the end Arsenal didn't quite get any of the end product in. But PSV scored the first disallowed goal, I think, in the 41st or 42nd minute, pretty much towards the halftime, and I thought, oh god, here we go again. I know, like, coming to this game, I don't have a feeling that we're gonna win this game. Maybe a point, maybe 1 point. I think that's what it feels like. Everybody mindset was like, okay, you know what? We go there, get a point, and go home, qualify top place, finish, done, and then we can play the youngster for next game. But it feels like Arsenal was playing in that way, that kind of mentality mindset instead of trying to win the game. And I think overall has been quite poor, to be honest. And the fact that there's so many to talk about, to be honest. I'm trying to condense this video within 20 minutes. But the fact that Ramsdale, oh my god, like one distribution was kind of like, would almost cause a costly mistake with his distribution. Again, his distribution was the only thing where I think he's much superior than pretty much the majority, like the more than goalkeeper. But the second goal that we conceded, that one was just completely poor. Just kind of misjudged it. Couldn't throw his fist to the ball, and Luke de Jong was there to score that one. Good header, by the way. And of course, the first goal that we conceded was, again, I think, slightly bit of a defensive error between pretty much amongst the defenders, and also Sambi Lokonga allowing the ball to be bounced. And there's so much going on revolving around Sambi Lokonga's recent comments, recent interview about not being played week in and week out, and I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest. I'm a supporter. I'm a gooner. But the fact that if Sambi thinks that he is not getting, it's not being played that many games, then he has to show that on the pitch. But unfortunately, for the past few games, I don't think he did that. He is pretty good on the ball, to be honest, but again, off the ball, just completely different, a complete different quality, different player compared to Thomas Partey. And when Thomas Partey came on, I don't think anything significantly has changed. Well, maybe some plays were smoother, but in general, we just can't get anything out of it. And Eddie Nketiah, last time when he was playing as left wide midfielder, I think he did a fine job, to be honest. But today, playing as a sole striker is completely different. Completely different player. I think there was one chance pretty much towards the last 10 minutes. I think he should have scored that one with his striker instinct. I don't know what kind of a excuse that they're going to give themselves today, but today has been just very, very poor. And the fact that the thing is, like, in terms of the game, there's not much to talk about because we're being outplayed, and I don't think I can like pinpoint or pick a specific moment where I want to talk about it, right? But there's certainly moments where I think right now the biggest topic is Arsenal still have 4 games to play. Nottingham Forest at home. I think FC Zurich next game at home, and Chelsea, Brighton, and Wolves, and then we're going to the World Cup. I'm very excited for that, obviously, but. Okay, the thing is, we already kind of anticipating where we are going to have a rough patch. And that's what we're feeling. I think we started to feel that effect after the Bodo Glimt game away from home in Norway. We can kind of sense that we somehow managed to win. It was a 1-0 win. It wasn't a pretty win at all, and it was and the goal that we scored from Bukayo Saka's lips. That shows how poor it was, but again, I know Arteta is it's a very high demand manager. Of course, he did mentioning about how, it's fine. The fact that he's not going to give any excuse. We won the game, Leeds United, very close. I wish I've lost that game, to be honest. Very close. I think brain fart right now, to be honest. But I think we should have lost that game against Leeds United. And then later on, the game against PSV, I think we did fine. Of all the 1-0 games that we played, or we scored one goals over the past 4 or 5 games, I think the PSV at home was a better one. First half domination was there, but just couldn't really find a goal until the second half from Granit Xhaka's goal. Southampton was poor again. First half was brilliant, not being clinical enough, as I said it before. Second half was completely torn apart, making simple mistakes where we could have probably done better. Of course, whole controversies around VAR as well. But this game just kind of saw it coming, to be honest. I again, like I said, I wasn't expecting a win. But then the fact that losing 2-0 today is going to take a much greater toll in the next 5 games. Because I think the next 5 games, or at least those 3 games in the league, are going to be extremely important in terms of how we want to end things before the World Cup. There are quite a lot of points to be proven at this point for Arsenal. Yes, we are at the top of the league. We are 2 points clear so far. Again, it means nothing if we take a draw the next game, if we take a draw next game. Hopefully, knock on wood, it's not going to happen. If we take on a draw next game, Man City won, and of course, we're not in the title. We're not at first place. But again, it's fine. I don't, as an honest Arsenal fan, I certainly do not think Arsenal are going to win the league. We have that kind of a short spell where we enjoy our success. We never have a much greater success like this for the past 10 years. The last time it happened 08 09 season. But in general, for me right now, I feel more embedded into the community. I feel more integrated into the community. I'm enjoying the moment, of course. Even though, yes, there's sticks going around where you guys are just playing the weaker opponents. But honestly, if we playing weaker opponent, what are we supposed to do? Not win, to lose to them purposely? Of course not. That's not the case. We go into the game by game, just trying to play the best football we can, trying to reflect our the style of play into the score sheet, and we did that very well. But recently, yes, we kind of escaped some of the wins, with 1-0 wins. All right, it's the basic score line. And I felt at that moment, I think something is going on within the team, or something is up. You guys can see people are getting tired. The lack of quality depth, it's also a certain thing as well. And that was pretty much the main problem right now, was the lack of tiredness, and also lack of quality of depth. And this is something that we really do have to address in the future. Coming back from the World Cup, I think the first game we're going to play is on the 26th. I forgot which team we're going to play first. I think it's either West Ham or somebody else, but I think we might be playing West Ham on that game on Boxing Day. That was the fixtures that we come back from the World Cup. And next 5 games are extremely important. Try to end on a high, to be honest. But next game, FC Zurich, honestly, I was assuming that if we got a point today, we definitely qualify for the first place team, and we skip the preliminary round 32, go straight into round 16 again. Skipping those 2 fixtures are very, very important, because with the schedules fixtures that we have right now, and the number of quality players that we can put on every starting 11, I think it's pretty much well needed, because round 32, the teams that we're going to play, potentially going to play, hopefully it's not going to happen. Barcelona, Juventus are going to get involved with that. So of course, we're trying to not get involved with that, and of course rest players as well. And the next game is going to be important, because I thought if we somehow get a point, we're going to play some youngsters and we rest those main players, and we are going to go to Stamford Bridge away from home to play against Chelsea, and hopefully we're going to get a good result. That's what we want. That's what we hope for, but it didn't happen, which means that we've got to change the plan as well. Premier League players, or just any football players in general, very high demand with the body. And I don't know how Arsenal players are gonna cope with it. Again, I think some of them played their first ever European football before, so there's quite a lot of fixtures in between. I mean, I know the last round of fixtures is gonna be ending next week, but we have Carabao Cup, FA Cup, and of course the playoff games in the future. So hopefully Arsenal are going to be prepared for that. And of course, going to January, apparently they're around 50 million to spend in the January transfer market. Of course, the number one player that Arteta wants and rumors going around was Kyle Mudryk, Shakhtar's winger. Very good, very bright young player, but 87 million. Based on the evaluation, I don't think Arteta's going to get him. But right now, it's more important in terms of how we're going to do in the middle, especially in the middle, to be honest. El Nenny's going to be back in the new year, I think. But yeah, that was about it for me, to be honest. Not a very good result. Being outclassed, not very fun to play, to be honest. But the fact that right now we just have to pick ourselves up and go at Nottingham Forest again in the Premier League. I think it's a good fixture, to be honest. Of course, Nottingham Forest beat Liverpool last time out. But you know what? In the Premier League, everything is so competitive. So I never go into the match and think, oh, we guarantee or winning this game. I never had that thought. But going into Nottingham, I really do hope we are going to get a win in that game, redeem ourselves, get the morale back a little bit, qualify for the top place against FC Zurich, and then Chelsea, Brighton, and Wolves. And let's have a good rest of the fixtures before the World Cup. So thank you guys for listening, watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in a bit.